Did you know that a single word or gesture can dramatically increase the chances of someone saying yes? In Influence by Robert Cialdini, you'll discover the hidden forces that shape our decisions every day. Whether it's a simple compliment, a limited time offer, or the opinion of a trusted expert, these subtle cues have a powerful impact on how we think and act. But what are these invisible triggers, and how can they be used ethically to persuade others? In this video, we'll explore the fascinating science behind persuasion, diving into the key principles Cialdini outlines that reveal why we say yes, and how understanding them can give you an edge in business and life. Let's jump into the main ideas of influence and see how you can apply them to your own life. Now that we've sparked your curiosity about the subtle forces shaping our decisions, let's dive deeper into what Influence by Robert Cialdini is all about and why it's a must-read for anyone interested in understanding the art of persuasion. Influence by Robert Cialdini is a groundbreaking exploration of the psychology behind why people say yes, and how to apply this knowledge in everyday life. What sets this book apart is Cialdini's ability to distill complex psychological concepts into practical principles that anyone can understand and use. At its core, Influence reveals that our decisions are often driven not by logical analysis but by psychological triggers, cues that operate beneath our conscious awareness. Cialdini identifies and explains 6 key principles of influence, which form the foundation of his work. These principles are based on decades of research and are illustrated through real-world examples, making the book both informative and highly applicable. What makes Influence particularly compelling is how it not only explains why these principles work, but also how they can be used ethically to persuade others while protecting yourself from manipulation. The book is much more than a manual for marketers or salespeople. It's a deep dive into human behavior and the subtle ways our social interactions shape our choices. Cialdini's writing is engaging and accessible, with a narrative style that draws readers in while delivering powerful insights. He uses a blend of scientific research, anecdotes, and practical examples to show how influence is at play in almost every aspect of our lives, from the ads we see to the conversations we have. One of the standout aspects of influence is its relevance across various fields, from business to personal relationships. Cialdini emphasizes that understanding these principles not only helps in persuading others but also in recognizing when they're being used on you. As he writes, we all employ these principles of influence every day, knowingly or unknowingly. This book is about becoming more aware of the subtle psychological forces at work and using that awareness to navigate a world full of persuasive messages. Now that we've set the stage with an overview of influence, let's dive into the key takeaways that make this book so powerful. These principles not only explain how influence works but also show you how to harness its power in your own life. The first key takeaway from Influence is the principle of reciprocity. This principle is rooted in the idea that people feel obliged to return favors or kindnesses. It's one of the most powerful tools of influence because it taps into a deep-seated psychological drive. For example, if someone does something nice for you, whether it's a gift, a favor, or even just a kind word, you're more likely to feel compelled to reciprocate. Cialdini illustrates this with a striking example. In one study, when servers gave customers a mint along with their bill, tips increased significantly. The takeaway: small acts of generosity can create powerful social bonds and open doors to influence. Building on that, the second key takeaway is the principle of social proof. This principle suggests that people look to others to guide their decisions, especially in situations where they're uncertain. It's like being in a crowded room and noticing everyone else heading toward one exit. You're likely to follow, assuming they know something you don't. Social proof is why testimonials, reviews, and social media likes are so persuasive. They provide evidence that others have already made the choice, making it easier for you to do the same. Cialdini shares an intriguing example of how social proof is used in advertising. When a product is labeled best-selling or most popular, it instantly becomes more appealing because we trust the choices of the crowd. The third and final key takeaway is the principle of authority. This principle highlights our tendency to obey figures of authority, whether they're experts, leaders, or even just people wearing uniforms. Cialdini explains that our respect for authority is deeply ingrained. We're conditioned from a young age to follow the guidance of those who seem knowledgeable or powerful. This principle can be seen in everyday life, from the way we follow a doctor's advice without question to how a CEO's words can sway an entire company's direction. Cialdini's research shows that simply displaying symbols of authority, like a diploma on a wall or a professional title, can significantly increase your influence over others. These three principles, reciprocity, social proof, and authority, are not just abstract concepts. They're practical tools you can use to enhance your persuasive abilities. Together, they form a consistent storyline that explains why we're influenced the way we are and how you can apply this understanding in your personal and professional life. Whether you're negotiating a deal, leading a team, or simply trying to persuade someone to see your point of view, these principles can give you a powerful edge. Now that we've covered the key takeaways from influence, let's move on to some actionable steps you can take to apply these principles in your everyday life. These practical tips will help you put Cialdini's insights to work immediately. The first action you can take is to use the principle of scarcity to increase the perceived value of what you offer. Scarcity is a powerful motivator. When people believe something is in limited supply, they're more likely to act quickly. Whether you're selling a product, negotiating a deal, or even planning an event, highlight what's unique or in short supply. For example, if you're launching a new product, consider offering a limited time discount or exclusive access. This not only creates urgency but also makes your offer more compelling. Next, leverage the principle of commitment and consistency in your interactions. People like to be consistent with what they've previously said or done, so start by getting small commitments. For instance, if you're leading a team, ask members to commit to small, manageable tasks. Once they've made these initial commitments, they're more likely to follow through on larger projects. This technique is especially effective in building momentum and ensuring long-term engagement. Lastly, build rapport using the principle of liking. People are more easily influenced by those they like and trust. Take the time to find common ground and build genuine relationships. Whether you're networking or trying to persuade a colleague, focus on shared interests and values. This approach not only enhances your influence but also fosters a positive and collaborative environment. By applying these strategies, you can start to see the principles of influence working in your favor, making your personal and professional interactions more effective and impactful. As we wrap up, I encourage you to try these strategies and see how they transform your approach to influence. If you found this video helpful, please share it with others who might benefit. Now that you've learned how to apply the principles of influence in your own life, let's explore a few more resources that can deepen your understanding of persuasion and personal development. If influence intrigued you, there are several other books you should consider. First, Persuasion by Robert Cialdini dives into the art of setting the stage for influence before the actual persuasion happens. It's a fascinating extension of the ideas in influence. Next, Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath explores why some ideas take hold while others fade away, offering insights into how to make your message more impactful. Finally, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman provides a deep look into the two systems of thinking that drive our decisions, perfect for understanding the psychological underpinnings of influence. Thank you for joining me on this journey through influence. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who are passionate about personal development. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.